Am I the A asterisk hole for asking her to block her ex? I'll call the ex Fernanda and my girlfriend Danila. We're a couple made up of two women. Basically, Fernanda was the last person Danila dated before me. The breakup was peaceful, and both of them agreed that the relationship just wasn't working. So they decided to end it. However, from time to time, Fernanda still reaches out to Danila. The first time, she invited her to a party. Since they hadn't been in contact anymore, Fernanda didn't know Danila was already in a relationship. Danila explained that she was dating someone, and the conversation ended there. A few weeks later, Fernanda contacted her again because she was apparently looking through her favorite messages. And since her phone didn't save an audio message, she wanted to know what it said. That audio was basically Danila confessing her feelings to her from a long time ago. Danila replied in a very short and cold way, and the conversation didn't continue. A few more weeks passed and Danila signed up for a course. Coincidentally, Fernanda signed up for the same course. As soon as she saw Danila's name on the list, Fernanda reached out to confirm if Danila was really taking the course and suggested that they stay close. Danila always shows me the messages, and I can clearly see that she doesn't encourage the conversation or give any openings for something more. Still, Fernanda's persistence really bothers me. I'm not insecure. I don't have issues with Danila's other exes, especially because she doesn't keep in touch with any of them. I don't doubt Danila's loyalty. The issue is that she has a habit of not setting boundaries when something bothers her, simply because she doesn't want to upset people. We've talked about this before, and it's genuinely something she struggles with. Because of that, I'm thinking about giving her an ultimatum and asking her to block Fernanda. Because honestly, this situation is starting to irritate me. I know this might sound trivial, but we're a young couple, both 18 and probably a bit immature. Still, I'd really like to hear other people's perspectives on this. Please be kind in the comments.
Am I the a-hole for not asking my brother-in-law to be my groomsman? Hi everyone, I'm a 28-year-old man, and I'm getting married in the middle of this year non-religious wedding. We made our wedding party list about a year ago and adjusted it gradually until it was finalized. During that time, my only sister started dating a guy in October of last year. I've had very little contact with him, but he seems like a genuinely nice person. My fiancé wanted our wedding party to include only people who are extremely close and truly special to us. Back when we made the list before my sister started dating, we paired my sister with my fiancé's best friend, who is still single, last week. We delivered the groomsmen and bridesmaids invitations. For couples, we gave a jewelry box to the bridesmaid and a tie to the groomsmen. For single people who would be paired together, for example, one of my friends with one of my fiancé's friends, we gave them individual items as well. In my sister's case, we only gave her the jewelry box. Her boyfriend was present at the time, and we made it clear that he was invited to the wedding, but we didn't explicitly state that he would not be part of the wedding party. Today is my birthday, and my MOM called to congratulate me, but she immediately brought up that it was kind of rude not to invite my sister's boyfriend to be a groomsman, since she's my only sister. I explained that we didn't have anyone close on my fiancé's side to pair him with, given that her best friend is single. My MOM ended the conversation in a somewhat passive-aggressive tone, saying that the wedding is ours, and we can do whatever we want. The truth is, I have nothing against my brother-in-law, and I'd even be okay with inviting him. But we don't have any real bond, and I'd be really upset if, down the line, I found out he turned out to be a terrible person and had been my groomsman. My fiancé is stricter about this whole closeness rule. At one point, I suggested including her 15-year-old cousin, who she's fairly close to, but she said she didn't see the point of putting a teenager in that role and made it clear she wouldn't feel comfortable adding someone who isn't genuinely close to her. One last important detail, my sister and my fiancé were very close friends during college, but toward the end they had some serious conflicts and my fiancé cut off the friendship. She did make it clear, though, that there would always be mutual respect between them. That said, she also has nothing against my sister's boyfriend, and I know she's being sincere about only wanting very close people as part of the wedding party. So, was I the a-hole?
Am I the asterisk hole for not being able to choose between my girlfriend and my online friends? I'm a 21-year-old man, and my girlfriend is 20. We've been together for 2 years and met back when we were still in school. Since the beginning of the relationship, I've always treated her with love and respect, and I've changed some behaviors that bothered her. I work hard so we can have good weekends together, and so I can give her nice gifts. In real life, we don't really have close friends. It's basically just the two of us. Every weekend, it's always me and her. That said, when I'm at home during my free time, I work from home. I like to play games with my online friends. I've never prioritized gaming over her. Whenever I'm playing and she asks me to stay on a call with her, I always answer and put her first. At one point, I tried to introduce her to playing with us, since she has a gaming PC that's just as good as mine. She doesn't really have anyone to play with, so I thought it could be nice. However, during one of the voice calls, there was an interaction that really upset her. One of my friends tried to make conversation and said something like, "Wow, I didn't know you had a PC. I thought you played on your phone." Since it's not very common for women to have gaming PCs. At the time, I thought it was a stupid comment, but my girlfriend felt it was sexist. After that day, she refused to play with us again. From her perspective, my online friends are bad people who don't realize how prejudiced their comments are. She says they don't really care about me and that these are shallow friendships that add nothing to my life. I've known these friends since 2019, longer than I've been dating her. I've been playing with them since I was about 14, when I changed schools and had trouble fitting in. Gaming with them in the afternoons helped me pass the time. During the pandemic, they were my company. In some very difficult phases of my life, I could play with them, talk, and vent to relax. Even now, we only play occasionally, and I've never stopped prioritizing my girlfriend over gaming. Despite all that, she wants me to completely cut off contact with these friends, who I consider my closest friendships, even if they're long distance. I asked if it wouldn't be enough to just reduce how often I play, but she said that if I continued being friends with them, I couldn't count on her for anything. She said she felt disgusted by me and told me that even if I'm not sexist myself, I'm supporting wrong behavior by staying friends with them. Our relationship hasn't been the same lately. I'm always trying my best and constantly changing things about myself that she doesn't like. I feel like the reason she swings so much between being extremely angry and extremely affectionate might be related to her depression and bipolar disorder, especially since she isn't taking medication or getting treatment. But I don't fully understand these conditions, and I'm afraid of blaming a mental health issue instead of trying to solve our relationship problems directly. I would do anything to see her happy, but she's asking me to do something that would make me unhappy, give up the only hobby that truly helps me to dash stress. So, am I the hole?
Am I the a-hole for thinking about seeing a psychiatrist and giving up on therapy? I've been in therapy for months now. I spent 2 months with one CBT therapist, then switched to another one who also uses CBT, and honestly, it feels like the same thing all over again. This second one is even worse. The first at least tried to stall by repeating the same generic advice every session. I talk about my anxiety, and she barely seems to care. Even though it's CBT, she doesn't guide me on how to actually deal with anxiety, and she still ends the session 10 minutes early, even though it's supposed to last 40 minutes. I do online sessions because I don't have much money. I'm a 27-year-old woman. I have an online friend, male, 34, who went to a psychiatrist less than a month ago. I asked him why he chose a psychiatrist instead of a psychologist, and he said it was faster to treat the problem, especially since he can't afford weekly therapy sessions. He said that with a psychiatrist, the follow-ups are more spread out. At first, that sounded strange and didn't make much sense to me. His anxiety was actually worse than mine. Now he's doing much better, and when he reaches 30 days, he'll go back to the psychiatrist to evaluate how the medication is working. Honestly, he feels like a completely different person. I don't see any signs of anxiety anymore. I asked him how it's been, and he only mentioned positive things. The only downside he reported was feeling sleepy during the first few weeks. Now I'm seriously thinking about doing the same thing, quitting therapy and going straight to a psychiatrist. I'm dealing with the same things he was, insomnia and anxiety. With my therapist, I feel like she just listens to me talk without offering any tools for anxiety or insomnia. It feels like I'm just venting. I don't know if it's because she's inexperienced or if therapy is just like this. My financial situation is really bad. I make less than $700 a month working informally. Even so, I'm treating myself to therapy, which means my mom has to pay half my expenses, and in return, I have to listen to constant humiliation from her and other relatives. Meanwhile, this friend of mine has a less toxic family and a stable job. He chose to save money by going straight to a psychiatrist, and now he's sleeping well again and feels anxiety-free. I keep wondering if I should do the same. I feel stupid spending money I don't even have, borrowing it and splitting 4 sessions into multiple installments just to see no results at all. So I'm thinking about letting go of my prejudice and seeing a psychiatrist instead. But I'm conflicted, because people always say that psychologists are important, even essential. That only therapy treats the root of the problem, and that medication just covers it up. I honestly don't know what to decide. Would it be wrong to quit therapy?
Am I the asterisk hole for wanting to quit my job? I'm 21 years old and I live with my parents. I help pay the electricity bill, and since the house isn't rented, my parents cover the rest. Until last year, I was an intern at my city's local government office. Everything was normal, but then, out of nowhere, a job opportunity literally fell into my lap. It paid well, so I sent my resume. On my very first day, I crashed my dad's car into a parked truck. I felt absolutely awful, even though it was just the side mirror. I called my dad crying. When I arrived and explained why I was late, people joked about it, but that made me want to cry even more. For the first 2 months at this job, I cried every single day and desperately wanted to be fired. Even so, I kept showing up and did everything they asked of me. My boss says I need to be proactive and ask questions. But it honestly feels like I'm about to get yelled at. They told me to ask the doctor things, but he never replies. They say I can ask as many times as needed. But when I do, they tell me to just look it up on GPT. They say I can work at my own pace, but if I'm late, they pressure me. When I organize my agenda and they suddenly ask for something urgently, I have to drop everything else. Then something doesn't get done and I get blamed. They tell me to ask questions. I ask, no one answers. I've been at this job for 5 months now. I had to start taking antidepressants again. I can barely get out of bed. Every time I say I'm tired, my parents say, but you stayed home all weekend. I spent a lot of money because at some point that became my escape. Now I'm in debt. Somehow, I can't deal with reality properly anymore. I clung to shifting and the law of assumption. Lately, I don't feel like doing anything, not even getting out of bed. I don't even care anymore about being in debt or having my name flagged. Every time I say I don't want to do something, I get flooded with comments about how I'm an adult now. And as if that wasn't enough, even though I'm an adult, I've never even had my first kiss, so my family decided that I must start dating literally anyone, because they decided that this is all just stress. All of this together is driving me insane. I've been feeling physically unwell for months, and sometimes I honestly wish I'd be hospitalized just to have some silence. I spend most of my time crying for no clear reason. My job isn't bad. It's actually a good job, and it's related to the field I'm studying in college, which is another thing that just happened randomly. I didn't choose it. I just got accepted and was told to do it. But I want to quit. I want to stay in my room in silence. I don't want to eat or leave the house. People talk about therapy, but I honestly don't want to get better. I just want peace and silence, which, apparently, isn't very acceptable for a 21-year-old adult woman. When I told my best friend that I feel sad for no reason, she just said, yeah, but now we're adults. So, am I the asterisk hole for wanting to quit?
Am I the hole for thinking my friend might be jealous? I'm an 18-year-old woman, and I've been noticing some strange behavior from my friend, whom I'll call Julia fake name. We both finished high school at the end of 2025, and like two broke as HL young adults, we're looking for jobs as apprentices. About 2 weeks ago, she asked me which website I used to look for job openings, and like a good friend, I shared it with her. Last week, she told me she had applied for a position at a pharmacy that offered a really good salary. One of the requirements was basic computer skills. Even though she doesn't actually have that knowledge, she still applied. Since I do have a course in that area, I asked her for the link so I could apply too, and then she had the absolute nerve to say she wouldn't send it to me because, according to her, there's only one opening, we would have to compete, and if I send it to you, I might not get the job. Maybe I'm being naive or immature, but I honestly wouldn't have any problem losing the job to her. Her happiness would be my happiness too. I would never deny an opportunity like that to any friend I care about, not even a little .so. Am I being dramatic?
Am I the asterisk hole for wanting to move out? I'm 18 years old and non-binary. I've always known I'm part of the LGBT community, but I was born into an extremely religious family. My father is a Jehovah's Witness and, from a very young age, he deprived me of simple things, like having birthday parties. I won't go too deep into that, but it gives some context. Because of the environment at home, I never even considered coming out about my sexual orientation or my gender identity. There have always been hateful comments from him and other family members, which taught me to hide who I really am just to avoid conflict. On top of that, there are situations that might seem small, but they affect me a lot emotionally. A recent example was when my mother got into an argument with me over the way I was rolling out pizza dough, a pizza I was going to eat myself. Things like this happen often, and they slowly wear me down. At the same time that I recognize how toxic this environment can be for me, I feel an overwhelming sense of guilt for even thinking about moving out. Despite everything my parents raised me, they say they love me, and I don't want to feel like I'm abandoning them or being ungrateful. I've also thought about moving in with my boyfriend, but that would have to happen without them knowing, which makes me feel even more torn. So I keep asking myself, am I the asterisk hole for wanting to leave home to protect my emotional well-being, even knowing that this decision could hurt my parents?
Am I the A* hole for wanting to distance myself from my mother? I'm an 18-year-old woman, and this is something I've been thinking about for a while. My mother, 40F, has always worked hard to raise me. She put me in the best school in our city and made sure we never lacked anything. Eventually, she met my stepfather, 38M, and our financial situation improved. 9 years later, they had a daughter together. My little sister was now 8 months old. The problem is that after I turned 18 last year, and even a bit before that, my mother started treating me badly. It's important to mention that she was always extremely overprotective, which contributed a lot to my shyness. She barely let me go out, not even to sleepovers, and only became slightly more flexible when I was 17. Now that I'm legally an adult, it feels like she doesn't care about me anymore. In fact, she mostly criticizes me, and sometimes it even feels like she wants me to fail. For example, in January, we went on a family trip to the beach. I invited my boyfriend, 18M, and we went together. During that trip, there wasn't a single day when my mother didn't ask me to do something or help her with tasks. I understand that I'm the oldest child and should help. But my stepfather, who usually works all day and rarely has free time, had plenty of time during the trip and could easily have helped. Still, everything fell on me. It got to a point where even my boyfriend couldn't take it anymore and would answer her when she called me, trying to spare me from having to go, which didn't really help. The breaking point was when we stayed at a different hotel and I decided to have a date at the hotel bistro. It's just me and my boyfriend. Everything was going great until my mother showed up and asked me to go get something from her room. She and my stepfather were in one room, and my boyfriend and I were in another. When my boyfriend offered to go instead, she immediately changed her mind and said she would get it herself. After that, my parents started giving me dirty looks from their table. Supposedly, she refused my boyfriend's help because the room was messy. But I honestly don't know if I believe that. There were other details that made the trip awful. especially my mother's terrible temper. Another thing that really worries me is how she treats my baby sister. It seems like she completely forgot how babies work. She has never hit my sister, but she constantly yells at her for doing things wrong, as if an 8-month-old has any understanding of her actions. It was nonstop screaming, to the point where even my stepfather couldn't stand it. Anymore, what really pushed me to seriously consider distancing myself from my mother was a recent situation. I was having a pretty bad allergy flare-up, took 3 pills, didn't sleep because I had other things to do, and the next day I woke up with a fever, feeling weak, sick, coughing, and congested. Usually, my mother would be a bit kinder when I was sick. But this time, she didn't care at all. She just told me to take some medicine. That same day, she asked me to watch my sister and do a couple of other small tasks. Even my stepfather noticed that it was too much. The only affection I received that day came from my stepfather and my boyfriend, which is ironic because, according to my mother, she is the only person in the world who truly loves me. The next morning, I woke up feeling better, and she had the nerve to say, "You're 18. But yesterday you acted like you were 10 simply because I was sick, needed rest, and wanted a bit of care." Yes, I've talked to her about all of this. I've explained that I feel mistreated since turning 18, complained about her temper, and had every possible conversation. Nothing has changed. After 18 years of trying, I'm exhausted. If she didn't change even after my sister was born, I don't think anything will make her change. I feel drained because she expects me to know everything without ever having let me learn. She expects me to be the perfect daughter, never complain, and do everything according to her standards. I wish things were different, but I'm tired of talking. Some important background information that also contributes to my exhaustion. When I was a child, she used to hit me a lot. Some moments really stuck with me. Once she was printing a document and needed the mouse, which was in the living room behind the couch. I couldn't find it at first, and when I finally did, before I could even get out from behind the couch, she scratched my leg and screamed at me. Another time, I don't remember exactly why we were fighting, but I clearly remember her asking me, "Why are you still alive?" while scratching my arm so hard it left a small scar. She doesn't hit me anymore, but she still threatens me, because she used physical punishment when I was little. I grew up believing I deserved to be physically punished whenever I did something wrong or hurt someone. I started hitting and scratching myself. The last time this happened was before my graduation. When my mother saw the marks on my arm, her first reaction was to yell at me. So I lied and said I had fallen and hurt myself. She has a kind of perfection complex, meaning she is always right and everyone else is wrong. A clear example of this happened on that same trip. She was feeding my sister and let her grab the glass plate and throw it on the floor. No one got hurt, but one of the first things she said to my stepfather was, "If the floor were wooden, the plate wouldn't have broken." This mindset is the main reason I've given up on trying to talk things out. Just as an ironic detail, she studies psychology. Even with all of this, I still feel guilty because she raised me and always fought to give me the best. But I truly can't handle this situation anymore.
Am I the *hole for refusing to carry a box? I'm a 22-year-old man, and I refuse to help my girlfriend's cousin carry a box with her child's belongings to the car. I've always been a very helpful person, but for a long time, I did things out of a kind of forced politeness that I was raised with. Recently, thanks to therapy and boxing, I've been changing my mindset and learning that I don't owe anything to people or to the world. My girlfriend's cousin lives in another state and only shows up in December for Christmas. She leaves her 7-year-old son with my mother-in-law during the holidays and comes back in February to pick him up. According to her, she does this because the kid is hyperactive and she needs some peace during that time. Her words. She's also married to what the internet often calls the average B*Saint*L*O guy. I hate that term and the worldview behind it. But I have to admit he's the kind of person who always tries to take advantage of everything. Their relationship is awful, and they can't go 5 minutes without arguing. At Christmas 2025, I spent the holidays with my girlfriend. And this cousin mocked me at every opportunity she got, from small things like making fun of me for not liking a certain food to attacking my profession in IT, saying I had soft hands and that my girlfriend wouldn't have a real man at home. For context, I live alone and I'm renovating my own house by myself, without hiring anyone. In 2026, I decided to change my life. I started working out and began boxing. My next goals are improving my diet and finding a hobby that isn't video games, maybe singing. Today, the cousin was there to pick up her son and gather his things. Before lunch, I had already told my girlfriend that I wouldn't tolerate any disrespect from someone who barely knows me. She said I was being dramatic. Later, during lunch, the cousin specifically asked me to help carry a box. I said, "No, I'm sore from the gym." My girlfriend then said, "She needs a man." And I reply, "She can ask her husband." I said this in front of my girlfriend's parents and sisters. Everyone went quiet. In the end, my girlfriend and her sister carried the box. My girlfriend was upset and said there was no need for that and that I should have just been polite. Honestly, I don't think I did anything wrong. Maybe this is just part of my new phase of self-respect. Still, I wonder if I went too far. Am I the *hole? Edit. There were 6 other men in the backyard. In the house where we had lunch, there were 3 men already, plus her husband for total. She had to walk down to another house just to ask me. Edit 2. I appreciate all the opinions that made me reflect. I understand that my mistake may have been letting my girlfriend carry the box. However, she didn't do it because there was no one else available, but because I refused and she wanted to cover for me. Even so, there were still at least 6 other men who could have done it, including the rude, pseudo-Japanese husband.
Am I the *hole for using the wrong pronouns for my boyfriend? First of all, I ask that he be respected, and I kindly ask people not to make transphobic comments. I'm a 17-year-old guy, and I'm dating another 17-year-old guy who deeply hates having been born biologically female and plans to transition to being trans-masc. Not long ago, he finally found the courage to tell me about this, clearly terrified of being judged. I respected and supported him right away because I love him. And this wouldn't make me love him any less, especially since I'm also a man. He has curly hair, and yesterday he went to get a haircut. He ended up choosing a style partly because his mom and sister liked it, so he felt pressured. Here's the thing. The cut is short, and curly hair shrinks a lot once it dries. He didn't like the result and didn't want to show me. I insisted and asked him to turn around so I could see it properly, but he refused. Later on, he showed me the reference photo for the haircut, and honestly, it really was very nice. Still, I said that the haircut didn't suit him that well, since he doesn't like seeing himself as a woman, but that it would look great if he were one. I thought he'd agree with me, but instead, he got really angry and has been ignoring me since yesterday. Now I'm scared that he might want to break up with me because of this.
Hey, what's your verdict on today's Reddit stories? If you have your own story and would like to share it, feel free to send it to the email listed in the description. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications. See you next time.